We, as an organisation, we have our mission and our rallying cry is better science, better art, better outcomes, and it's something that we've talked about a lot in terms of creativity, because even in the science world, we think about math. Science does not equal math. I mean, science is what got us to the moon. Science is imagination, it's experimentation, it's full of art, it's full of creativity. So I think in terms of creativity, it's important that we democratize the idea and give people the tools to invent and experiment, because honestly our business on a day-to-day basis, the challenges that our clients face, the rate of change within our industry, we are solving problems all the time, and it's within every single person who works with the agency, it's within their remit to be creative on a daily basis to find solutions. To how you liberate your teams to feel free to explore, and importantly, in order to do that, they have to feel free to fail occasionally. I think our clients are facing big problems. It's a very competitive marketplace. It's moving at high speed. I think there's no lack of question out there. There's no lack of need that requires a different kind of response or a different kind of solution. So the appetite for creativity is enormous. So the environment is incredibly conducive to a ton of creativity. I think you have to create a culture that just turns that switch to allow people to feel that they can do it. Clients are looking for a degree of confidence that their media investments, which are a significant part of their marketing budget, the most significant part of their marketing budget, are driving growth and are being responsibly managed. So a real level of accountability around those dollars is expected. And I think that's something we take very, very seriously. I also think clients are navigating, just as we are, an extraordinary time of change, and they're trying to get their arms around transformation and how they catch up in this digital age where everybody's been disintermediated, and the relationship with the consumer is just rapidly evolving. So they're looking for stewardship, guidance, and help kind of moving forward into this new world order with innovation. And lastly, innovation only matters if you can scale it. So you can pilot your way forward all you like, but pilots only matter if when you have success, you have an ability to quickly take that success and make it matter across the entire organization. Digital economy and the way that the personalized experience that consumers are expecting today has really changed the game. So in advertising, for example, media specifically has been able to crack the code on really developing a one-to-one relationship through targeting. Creative is now catching up, so we're tackling the world of how do we tailor our messaging to more individual needs. So if I happen to be in the market for a car, for example, and I am predisposed to BMW as a car brand, how do me, Eileen Kiernan, get served the right kind of messages that might serve that particular desire? We're cracking that code. From a client perspective, that same question is on their minds on steroids, because now they're thinking about being in this one-to-one relationship. It's not about advertising anymore, it's about being in a one-to-one relationship. And how they manage a relationship with a client and the kind of value exchange that's inherent in that requirement is a big thing. So owned properties, what their websites look like. Do they have loyalty programs? What is the value add? Beyond the transaction, how do they take a consumer on an experience over time is a big thing on their minds. And many clients are kind of tackling that in its very early stages, unless they grew up in the digital economy and that's how their business was built in the first place. I mean, UM is a brand, just like any other brand, and we've been around for decades. I think I'd like to think our clients would represent this as well. We are a brand, we have values. We're a very caring culture, we're committed to community. We have a commitment to being client first. I think our clients in the industry, when we show up, whether it's in a business pitch or in a meeting room, get that sense of purpose from us. There are parts of our business that are functionally and strategically designed to deliver on that. So for example, IPG is a very transparent organization, as designated by Michael Roth over 12 years ago. So we commit to transparency in a way that no other organization does. And that's by design. So our clients can be reassured that every recommendation that we make, our people can be reassured that every plan they work on is unbiased, and that our clients' needs can be put first over our agency's needs, by virtue of the fact that we are transparent by design. So I think we live into our purpose in very, very real ways. I'm a physical embodiment of some of our commitments. I mean, I am a female global CEO in a communications community, and there aren't that many of us. So I think I'm a statement by IPG. I'd like to think it's based on merit and capability, but I'm certainly a statement of their trust and their desire to live into our values. My US CEO is also a woman. So I think we have a commitment to kind of living into our values and showing up in the decisions that we make, and I'm an embodiment of that. I think I gave a speech at the town hall here to the team, and I think we have a responsibility, and it's something I feel keenly, to make sure that the decisions that we make at the centre, as a global centre, cascade down into the markets, and that's difficult. Scaling is difficult, even within our own organisation. Scaling messaging in a way that signals behaviours, I think, is really, really important. So when we talk about diversity and inclusion, when we talk about caring about our communities, what I say in New York has to matter and feel relevant here in Dubai, has to feel relevant in the Philippines, has to feel relevant in Germany. And then there are other business practices that we are committed to. So we hold what's called a product council twice a year. It rotates locations, so it doesn't always happen in New York. It usually happens in New York once a year, so there's a headquartered moment, and then the second time happens wherever in the world. And we bring our community together and we talk about product over a 3-day session. And we have a very honest dialogue around are the things that we're talking about across our network, or the things that we're trying to inspire the network from New York, are they landing in the markets? Is it relevant? Is it moving the needle forward? Is it inspiring our teams all over the world? And if it's not, we have a very open culture. We talk about it, what's needed, what's necessary. I think it's interesting that advertising has been a weapon of change for many, many years. And if you look back into history, we've been able to change people's minds, to change people's hearts. And I think we're living through pretty troubled days around the world. I think it's a difficult time for a lot of people politically, socially. There's a lot of division, and it's not specific to any one country. So as we work with our clients, and as we think about purpose-driven behavior, purpose-driven advertising, purpose-driven communication, I think we do have a collective responsibility to hold ourselves accountable to being a positive force in the world. So we talk about cultural programs like diversity and inclusion, or being UM's Better World program. I think it goes beyond that into the kind of work that we're pushing. So as we get involved in industry initiatives around representing gender equality in our advertising, as we think about getting involved in organizing around climate change and being a force of good for climate change, there are bigger stances that as an industry we should be prepared to make.